Reba McEntire, the legendary voice of country music, is getting married again. But this time, it won't be anything like the grand Hollywood weddings we're used to seeing. At 70 years old, the three-time Grammy winner says she's planning something completely different, a non-traditional, fun, and comfortable wedding with her fiancé, actor Rex Linn, age 68. No fancy ballroom, no stiff champagne parties, just laughter, food, and the people they love. In a world where celebrity weddings are all about extravagance and social media perfection, Reba's approach feels refreshingly human. It'll be a lot of fun. She said in an interview, "Because that's us. We like comfort. We love friends. We love food." The couple got engaged quietly on Christmas Eve, Launsenling Archese, during a peaceful walk by a creek on their Tennessee ranch. Rex went down on one knee and asked, "Would you marry me? I want to cross the finish line with you." Reba didn't answer right away, she just hugged him, until he nervously said, "You're not saying anything." Then she laughed and shouted, "Yes, yes, yes." Months later, they finally confirmed the engagement on the red carpet at the 2025 Emmy Awards, after keeping it secret through the wildfires that devastated Los Angeles early that year. Now, Reba says she's happier than ever, smiling wider, laughing louder, and falling in love as if she were 17 again. "I'm 70 years old and 50 years in the business." She told reporters, "God saved the best for last." This is not just another celebrity love story. It's a story about finding joy not in fame, not in perfection but in peace, after a lifetime of storms. Before the quiet proposal by the creek, before the matching smiles on the red carpet, Reba McEntire and Rex Linn had known each other for almost 30 years. They first met in the early 1990s, back when Reba was already a country music icon and Rex was just starting his career in television. Their paths crossed briefly at industry events, a few laughs, a few photos, and then life moved on. Both built successful careers, both loved deeply, and both endured heartbreak. For Reba, life was never short of triumphs or trials. She conquered country music with hits like Fancy and The Night, The Lights Went Out in Georgia, won awards, hosted shows, and built an empire. But behind the spotlight, she faced tragedy, losing band members in a plane crash, surviving a painful divorce, and rebuilding her life from the ground up. And then came 2020, in the middle of a global pandemic, when isolation kept most people apart. Fate brought Reba and Rex back together. They reconnected through a phone call, just two old friends checking in during uncertain times. That single call turned into daily conversations, shared laughter, and the slow, steady warmth of rediscovering something that had always been there. As Reba later said, "We have fun. We're dorky. We're goofy. And we have the same interests in just about everything." From that point, the friendship blossomed into love, the kind that doesn't demand attention, only time. They began appearing together publicly in 2021 at award shows and premieres, not as stars posing for cameras, but as two people genuinely enjoying each other's company. The chemistry was easy, the affection unforced. By the time Rex proposed on that quiet Tennessee evening, there were no surprises left, just the comfort of two lives finally aligning. It wasn't a fairy tale. It was something better, real. When Reba McEntire said yes on that quiet Christmas Eve in 2024, it wasn't followed by press releases or flashing cameras. There were no magazine covers, no social media countdowns, no exclusive photo shoots. Instead, Reba and Rex kept their engagement a secret, not out of shame, but out of respect. Just days after their engagement, wildfires swept through Los Angeles, devastating homes, families, and entire communities. For Reba, who has always been known for her empathy, it simply didn't feel right to celebrate publicly when others were losing so much. We were going to make the announcement when we got back to L. She said later. But the fires happened. It wasn't appropriate, so they waited. For 9 months, their secret remained between them, their families, and a few close friends. During that time, they quietly planned not the wedding, but their life. Then, in September 2025, while walking the red carpet at the Emmy Awards, an news reporter casually referred to them as fiancés, Reba laughed. Rex grinned, and in that unscripted moment, the world learned the truth. Since then, their relationship has become a gentle reminder that love doesn't have to be loud to be real. Rex told reporters, "We're just enjoying our engagement time. We love going to work together, coming home together. It's simple and it's perfect." And that's exactly why they're choosing to have a non-traditional wedding. No designer gowns, no giant ballroom, no press photos, just a small, joyful celebration with close friends, family, comfort food, and laughter. It's gonna be fun, Reba said with her signature smile, because that's who we are. In a culture obsessed with extravagance, she's proving that happiness doesn't need spectacle, only sincerity. This is the turning point in Reba's love story. A woman who spent 50 years in the spotlight is finally living her most meaningful chapter away from it. When Reba and Rex's engagement finally went public, the reaction was instant and heartfelt. There were no scandals, no tabloid drama, no shock headlines. Instead, the world smiled. Fans flooded social media with messages of joy. Reba deserves this kind of love. One fan wrote, "She's given us music, laughter, and strength. Now it's her turn to be happy." Thousands of similar comments poured in from around the world. Inside, the country music community, friends and colleagues celebrated the news like family. Fellow artists shared throwback photos, interviews, and kind words. To them, Reba McEntire wasn't just a performer, she was a trailblazer, a mentor, and a reminder that it's never too late for a new beginning. The couple's co-stars from their sitcom Happy's Place also joined in the excitement. Reba's on-screen sister, Belisa Escobedo, said she found out through a video message the couple sent to the cast. They sent the sweetest video. She said, "We were all crying, laughing, sending hearts." It felt like the best news we'd heard all year. Even in a business known for its fast pace and fleeting headlines, the love between Reba and Rex felt timeless. There was something comforting about watching two people in their late 60s and 70s fall in love with such youthful energy, teasing each other, finishing each other's sentences, and showing that real romance doesn't fade with age. In interviews, Reba admitted that this relationship feels different from anything she's ever known. "I've never been loved by a man like Rex," she said softly. "He's tender-hearted, bashful, and he makes me laugh every single day." It wasn't a fairy tale, it was something better. Genuine happiness. For fans who grew up with Reba's music, who watched her go through heartbreak, divorce, and reinvention, this love story wasn't just romantic. It was proof that sometimes the best chapters in life are the ones you never saw coming. For half a century, Reba McEntire has lived her life under the spotlight. She's sold millions of records, won countless awards, and stood on some of the biggest stages in the world. But if you ask her what truly matters now, she won't talk about fame or success. She'll talk about peace. At 70 years old, Reba says she's happier now than I've ever been. After all the heartbreaks, the long tours, the lonely hotel rooms, she's finally found something. Hollywood can't script a love that feels safe. Simple and real. Rex Linn isn't just her fiancé, he's her best friend. They work together, laugh together, and never take a single day for granted. He's a good man. Reba says, "God save the best for last." Their love story stands as a quiet rebellion against Hollywood's obsession with perfection. No luxury wedding, no designer show, just two people who've lived long enough to know that joy doesn't come from spotlight moments. but from morning coffee, shared laughter, and the comfort of knowing you've found your person. Reba and Rex's relationship has become something bigger than romance. It's a message to anyone who's ever felt like love has passed them by. It's never too late. Sometimes life saves the sweetest chapter for the very end. And when that chapter finally arrives, you don't need diamonds or headlines to make it shine. You just need love, laughter, and someone who wants to cross the finish line with you.